of the consequences of this war has been a lot of very high passions on both sides, a lot of angry disagreements. You and your company have been at the center of a very high-profile one at the moment with Candance Owens, who's now left Daily Wire. Was she fired, or did she leave of her own volition?
I'm not going to speak to this topic, Piers.
At all?
At all.
You can't give me any insight into why she departed?
No hints, no nothing. I'm not going to speak to this.
For just a moment, because I saw you this week on Piers Morgan. He asked you repeatedly about Candace. You repeatedly basically said,
I won't talk about that. I'll say that here too.
Yeah, and that's fine. And, you know, it's interesting because we all sort of came up together to different extents, and we've all done a million things together in public events and networks and all of those things. It seems to me that at this moment, she's now a free agent. She happened to end up on Locals, which I created, and they were a platform, not a publisher that you guys are. Can you at least talk to just sort of where it's at now? She's not with you. She's free.
She's free to do whatever she wants to do, to be wherever she wants to be. And the difference between a publisher like the Daily Wire and a platform like Locals is obviously that a platform should have a very broad range of speech that it allows, including speech that maybe even the creators don't believe is inside what they would consider to be the Overton window. It's a very different thing than direct subsidization of particular opinions. So the Daily Wire would not have a host, would not pay a host who was staunchly pro-abortion. They would have no obligation to pay a host who is staunchly pro-abortion. And so when it comes to the hosts on the Daily Wire, obviously everyone is able to say what they want. Nobody ever comes to me and says, you can't say X. Nobody ever says that to Walsh. And no one ever said that to Candace. But the reality is that there is an Overton window at the Daily Wire. Obviously, there was a non-meeting of the minds. That's pretty much all I can say on this. And, you know, a lot of this has happened publicly. But you know, to the extent that the Daily Wire is in fact not a publisher, it is that is in fact not a platform, it is a publisher. That means that there is no moral obligation for the Daily, and there's no free speech problem with the Daily Wire saying we don't wish to pay a particular host, or that host saying I don't wish to work here anymore, because again, there's a parting of the ways that you know is not really open for discussion at this point.
What's going on, everyone? So Kenny here today. I want to kind of give my reaction and final thoughts for this whole Candance Owens stuff that's been going on lately. As you saw from the intro, Ben Shapiro got confronted about the Candace situation. Obviously, you saw from the intro that he didn't want to answer Piers Morgan at all. He didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want to allude to it. But in the sit down with Dave Rubin, you got more of an insight of what was likely to happen. It seemed like, you know, there was an expectation. Hey, this is a certain perspective that the Daily Wire wants to push. And Candace kind of disagreed with that sentiment. And this is just based off me assuming here. I admit and I take full ownership that I'm assuming this from my perspective. And this is just my personal insight. Is that Candace believed that, no, you should have various opinions on the Daily Wire. Pro and anti. And maybe Jeremy and Ben was like, no. We want to highlight certain things. There's a certain angle that Daily Wire wants to come at. And we want, this is the more acceptable range of disagreement we want our pundits, our hosts to have on certain matters. Like he said, as an example, Daily Wire, how would Daily Wire look giving money to someone who is pro-abortion? It doesn't fit into the values or the messaging that Daily Wire pushes. And this is one of the kind of the things that always weigh in my mind, that if I ever get big enough, what path would I go? And I think most likely that I'll just be an independent creator, right? I actually enjoy being independent. I actually like not being like answering to someone. So I know that's the harder path to, you know, get popular and networking, whatever. But I think that suits me more than trying to be a part of a network. Now, there was a lot of angles that I can go with this video. But I think the main concern is this whole Crisis King point of view, because, you know, publicly, because Ben ended off the clip. I ended off the clip with Ben saying that, oh, you know, this kind of all spilled out publicly. But it was Ben who put this public disagreement out in the forefront. He was recorded. Ben Shapiro, you're Ben Shapiro. You know, people are always going to record you. You're a famous guy. He's the one who said that out in the open, in the public, and this is how that's how it spilled over in the public in the first place. And I just wish that I think it would have made Ben a lot more better if he admit that, yeah, I made a mistake there by speaking out publicly about my concerns about Candace, knowing how it could be twisted, knowing how it could be misconstrued, and know how it could push a narrative. And now I think it's really hurting the Daily Wire. That's just my thoughts, right? So I want to kind of address the controversy with Christ is King.
You know, when I did this, by the way, the priest who baptized me said, you know, Christians won't accept you. You'll still be a Jew. And I said, well, I am. That's my race. I'm a Jew. I'm proud of my race. It's a great race. It's done many, many great things, including write the Bible. And, you know, I am a Jew. But that hasn't happened at all. Christians have welcomed me with open arms, except this Christ the King anti-Semitic crowd. Christ is the King. And one day every knee will bow and recognize it, because he's not just my king, he's king of the universe. But when you use that phrase to mean that God has abandoned his chosen people, the Jews, through whom he came into this world incarnate, and that he's broken his promises, his covenant with the Jews, you are quoting scripture like Satan does in the Bible. You are quoting scripture to your purposes, and that to me is specifically wicked. You know, when you spit that phrase at Ben Shapiro, my friend Ben Shapiro, and you know, I understand this. All of you who love Ben, and I love Ben, and Jordan Peterson, you all want to see them find Jesus because you know what joy and freedom that gives you, and you certainly feel that it alters your relationship with God. But when I think about this, to be honest with you, you know, and I know some people will disagree with this, but life is not a game show where you guess the name of God and you get to go to heaven. Honk, you know, yes, the name is Jesus. I look at Ben's life and I think if Ben were to embrace Jesus Christ, it would cause devastation to his family, to the people who love him, to the people who listen to him, to his position in the world. I just have this feeling that God has put this guy where he wants him to do what he wants him to do. And as you know, I feel that, you know, the Jews were not abandoned by God.
Using the religion to meet your own ends. Couldn't Andrew Klavan be accused of doing the same thing, like twisting words and using it in a different context than what it really means, right? And just because it's a hateful group, like let's say racist, for instance, if a racist point out that, oh, black people like watermelons, all of a sudden it's a racist trope. If I say, oh, I like watermelons, oh, Kenny, you're just being a self-hating coon. You know, that's a racist statement to make. All it shows is that in a day, as a Stoic, I believe that no one has power over your own actions but your own will, and no one can make you offended. Here's the better take: no one can make you feel offended about something. You choose to be offended by something, and all it highlights to me is that Jewish people are just sensitive people, right? And instead of Jewish people kind of being aware of that fact and being very cautious about how they filter information that's given, it's starting to create this self-perpetuating cycle where it seems like any act of criticism against someone who happens to be Jewish, people automatically points to, oh, you're only criticizing him because he's a Jew. The same way that if I argue with a black person and let's say I happen to be the wrong complexion, that black person is going to be like, oh, you're only saying that because because you're racist. You're only prosecuting Fannie Willis because she's a strong black woman. That's why y'all prosecuting you. Y'all sexist and y'all racist. That's the only reason you're going after her. It's not the fact that she has all this conflict of interest and this bad look, sleeping with her lead prosecutor against a political opponent and using that political prosecution of that political opponent to rise her national level, because no one knew who Fannie Willis was until she started prosecuting Donald Trump. No, it's not all these incentives that you have of breaking and doing things unjustly. No. It's not that. It's because you're a black woman. That's why we're going after her. That's why we're trying to discredit her, because she's a black woman. Jewish people are literally taking a similar approach to this. And one thing I want to say about this is that if context matters a lot, context is what? A subjective view, then it's you who's doing that. You're the one who's being offended about that. You're the one who chooses to react in that way. Instead of looking at the merits and say, is that really a racist, anti-Semitic trope? No, it's not. Professing it is not. But because it's directed at me, it does not give me the justification to automatically assume that person is anti-Semitic because they're using the phrase. Just because a racist person says 2 + 2 is 4 does not make 2 + 2 4 a racist slur, no matter how many times people jump on the bandwagon. I don't care how many times a racist said, because if every ideology of every prejudice knows that 2 + 2 is 4. So if they profess 2 + 2 is 4, it's guilty by association. It's condemning something because it's associated with a group. It's craziness to me. And it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I think this is something that Jewish people are accidentally doing. It's not something malicious. I'm not taking a malicious turn on this. I'm just saying. I'm not surprised that Jews are triggered by the same, because theologically, Christ is incompatible with their faith. I'm just happy that people are actually learning about religion instead of following the conservative political fairy tale of Judeo-Christian. Right? I mean, then I'm not going to say something. But I find it interesting that, Ben is taking a different approach than Andrew Klavan. Ben doesn't want to talk about this whole spat publicly, but Andrew Klavan is willing to do it too. Do it. For the last week, my former colleague at the Daily Wire, Andrew Klavan, has been spreading some inaccuracy about me that I view to be disparaging to my character. So let's slowly unpack his claims here publicly. Andrew Klavan, in an attempt to explain why Christ is King can be anti-Semitic, offered this on a podcast about me. So I'm gonna give you 40 seconds. And I'll let you guys watch it really quick, and then we'll continue on with the video.
Totally fair question. And it was because one of our major talents at the Daily Wire parted ways. The Daily Wire parted ways with Candance Owens. And part of it was things that she was saying that we felt were strongly anti-Semitic. And she was doing it in such a way that it was kind of hard to pin down. So I was trying to show where these things happen. So, for instance, she retweeted a tweet accusing a Jewish guy of being drunk on Christian blood, which is, of course, an ancient slander against the Jews, that they eat Christian children. Totally fair question. And it was because.
So, as you can hear, you heard that and saw that. So not anything she said. It was something because she liked the tweet, and that's what he was offended by, right? Like reposting something or liking something is now akin to you co-signing it. Make it make sense. Sometimes people like stuff to react to it. No, he assumed automatically the negative. Wow, that sounds crazy. Candance Owens hates Jews so much that she randomly accused some fine young Jews people of drinking blood. Crazy. And also untrue and completely removed from some important context, right? And she continues. Never reposted anything. I certainly did like a tweet. However, what is the appropriate context? The Jew Andrew Klavan is referring to is Rabbi Shmuley, who spent 2 years attacking me. No one, not a single one of my colleagues included, defended or said what he was doing. Context matters, right? What did Shmuley did in return? He libeled me harder, and he accused me of directing my followers to murder Jews. I'm not kidding. This is what he posted. Arch anti-Semite Candance Owens is assigning our Jewish-hating followers a threat to murder Jews, and especially me. I've received untold number of messages like those from Candace Jew-hating fans. Candace and officially Ben Shapiro will be responsible for any acts of violence against me. When I see you, I'm gonna knock you the F out, pig. I'm gonna lay on you on the ground and I'll catch you, whatever. This is double tap on like, right? The rabbi was clearly lying. The person who messaged him privately in that correspondence did so before I ever informed the public about his harassment. It was quite literally a smear. Gratefully, someone called him out on this lie by citing the date of the message. It's February 20th. It says February 20th, Rabbi. Are you drunk on Christian blood again? So she liked the tweet as saying, hey, this person is defending me. Not because I actually agree with the floor. And it's sarcastic. And this is what I'm talking about. It's like, to me, optically, Jewish people are coming across, at least Rabbi Shmuley, Ben Shapiro, publicly, you guys are coming across as sensitive, right? That, like you're offended by everything. You don't got thick skin. This is the messaging you give out, whether it's justified or not. Now, some people say, Kenny, it's justified these people be sensitive because they survived the Holocaust. Okay, black people survived slavery. So should black people be not criticized, not held accountable? We should be giving them special treatment then? That's my argument. We all suffer through it. Everyone has a history of atrocities that's faced their people. but we give special consideration to one group over the other mainly because they're not the majority. I don't see that as fair. I want everyone to be treated equally in this country. Either you do it for everybody or you do it for nobody, right? But white people don't get special considerations for special things that happen to them. Asians maybe, blacks for sure, Hispanics for sure. But I'm tired of all these different standards based on your ethnicity. I thought we left that stuff behind. This is why I don't respect any ethnic supremacy movements. The tweet that I like some random person on the internet who very quickly debunked the hideous, horrendous lies that would ever send any person to threaten to murder, that I would send any person to threaten to murder Jews. Now that you have the full context, please revisit Andrew's remark about my anti-Semitism. I recently learned that anti-Semitism is unlike any hate in the world because the definition mutates. Today's current definition seems to be a Christian defending herself from a predatory, dishonest rabbi by liking a tweet for the obvious reason that it debunks his lie. It is nothing really short of amazing that given all the threats that Rabbi Sweeney has made against me, which seemingly disturbed Andrew, or at least what moved him to action, was my unacceptable like of a tweet which underscored the rabbi's dishonesty. Really something. This is why you always speak up. This is craziness. And this is why I'm saying that this doesn't look good for the Daily Wire. And I waited a long time really to speak out about this. I did speak out about it initially, like when she initially got let go. But I honestly believe that it's the differences of vision. Like she saw that, hey, like I want to speak about these things. If you feel so strongly about this topic, then I don't want to be associated with the Daily Wire anymore. And they probably didn't renew her contract and they separated. But I for sure know it has to be something dealing with Israel because it's too many contexts, right? And I know they already removed some episodes from her podcast. I'm still a Daily Wire subscriber. So I noticed that, I think I forgot the number, but 2 episodes are missing. I think it's the French lady one and then another one I forget. I think it was the Rabbi Smoothie one. I don't remember. But yo, these rabbis making y'all look bad. I'm just being honest here. Don't call me anti-Semitic because if you replace all the anti-Semitic things I said and replace it with black people, I'll probably agree with the sentiments that I was saying in this video because I am logically consistent. I don't give special treatment to nobody. And if that makes me a racist, if that makes me an anti-Semite, then it just makes you a sensitive person. You just admit to yourself, you just admitted to me that you're a sensitive person, that you can't take being treated as like everyone else. And in reality, it seems like you want special treatment. And I don't believe in giving special treatment to people just based on their ethnicity. I think that's wrong. Maybe you think opposite. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below. I would like to hear your thoughts about this whole situation with Candance Owens and the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro's silence on the matter. What do you guys think? I would be interested in what you guys are speculating in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys for watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.